You've been told to look for typos, bad grammar, a weird greeting like, "Dear valued customer." If the email looks sloppy, it's a scam. That rule worked for about 20 years. It doesn't work anymore. And the reason why is going to change how you check your inbox. Welcome to Mr. John Explains. Here's the part almost nobody explains. A lot of those scam emails weren't badly written by accident. Some of it was simple. Many of these messages were written by people who didn't speak English as a first language. The mistakes were just mistakes. But there's a second theory, and it's the interesting one. In 2012, a researcher at Microsoft named Cormac Herley asked a question nobody had bothered to ask. Why do scammers still say they're a prince from Nigeria? Everyone has heard that story. Everyone knows it's fake. His answer was that this is exactly the point. A scammer doesn't want 1,000 replies. Every reply costs them time. Hours of back and forth, and most of those people are going to wise up and walk away long before any money moves. So the story is deliberately ridiculous. It screens out everyone with their guard up. The handful who answer anyway are the people most likely to see it through. The obvious tells weren't a bug. For some operations, they were the filter. Either way, the result for you was the same. Sloppy writing was a reliable signal. Was. Not anymore. Now, anyone can generate a flawless email in seconds. Perfect grammar. The right corporate tone, any language, at native fluency. And it isn't just cleaner, it's tailored. Your job title, your manager's name, the conference you posted about last week. That's all public. A message can be built around details that are specifically, accurately about you. The sloppy version hasn't disappeared. It's just no longer the only version. The dangerous ones now read like they came from your bank, because they were written to. So if your filter is, "Does this look professional?" you don't have a filter. So, what replaces it? Stop reading the writing. Start reading the request. A scam has to do 4 things, and no amount of good grammar changes any of them. 1. It has to reach you. You didn't ask for this. It arrived. An email, a text, a call you didn't place. Anything that starts on the other person's initiative starts at 0 trust. 2. It has to rush you. There's a deadline. Your account closes today. The payment has to go out before 5. Urgency isn't a detail of the scam, it's the engine of it, because the one thing that kills a scam is you having time to check. 3. It has to move something. Money, gift cards, crypto, a password, a code from your phone. If nothing of value is being asked for, there is no scam. Follow the ask all the way to the end and look at what it actually wants. 4. It has to keep you on its own rails. A link it gave you. A number inside the message. Someone who'd rather you texted than called. Unprompted. Urgent. After something valuable. Steering you. That's the shape. And it's the same shape whether the email is riddled with typos or written beautifully. Which brings me to the single habit that beats all of it. Verify on a channel you picked yourself. Not the link in the email. Not the number in the text. You close the message and you go find the real contact information the way you would have if that message had never arrived. The number on the back of your card. The app already on your phone. The desk line you've called before. A real bank will wait 5 minutes. A real boss will wait 5 minutes. Anyone who won't is telling you exactly what they are. And if it's someone you know, a familiar voice on the phone, in trouble, needing money right now. That's the case for a family safe word. One phrase, agreed on in advance, that only your people know. It costs you 1 conversation at dinner. The typo rule wasn't wrong. It expired. And what replaced it is better anyway, because it was never really about the writing. It's about what someone is asking you to do and how badly they want you to do it right now. Slow down. Verify on your own line. Do that, and the quality of the grammar stops mattering at all. Thanks for watching. If this helped, please like the video and subscribe for more simple explanations that help you stay informed, stay safe, and avoid common mistakes.